but you know, like, right, she came in and like she had this conversation with Chrishell, like, listen, I want to be taken at face value. So like, do you
Yeah.
think like Chelsea had good intentions? Like, did she really want to be taken at face value, or was she kind of
I do
too
think she had good
influenced?
intentions. I do think she had good intentions, but I do think that I personally felt judged based on what Christine has said. And I'm not taking anything away from Chelsea that it is or isn't her opinion. Certainly, I respect her opinion, and she claims that she's whatever she said or how she felt about me was her own personal opinion, but I had no interaction with her. I had nothing that I did to her. So I struggle to understand why she has any kind of issue with me when I did nothing to her. So I felt a little bit cornered at the tea party, and it doesn't make sense to me that Chelsea would be upset with me. So I can only believe that it's from Christine, and clearly it was, in my opinion.
And then you guys, after the tea party, had another lunch and you kind of try to explain how you felt. And she told you I have negative energy.
I extended an olive branch, and I'm trying to give her an opportunity to get to know me personally a little bit more and make up her own mind, and so she can just really see a little bit more and decide if I'm whoever Christine says or who she might, or whatever she thinks. But I think she was more worried about being Christine's mouthpiece, which wasn't really my focus. My focus was just be open and see for yourself if you think you agree or don't agree. And I think she just came with a little bit more attitude than I expected. So I was like, wow, it doesn't seem like you're open to talking to me. So I don't know. I'm not going to communicate with someone who's not willing to.
So you left.
Yeah, that's what I did. You saw.
Listen, I'm all here for a walkout. Okay. So, well, we've also seen like seasons 1 through 4. It's kind of like a domino effect, like Chrishell and then maybe Heather. And like, one by one, Christine has alienated certain people. You really kind of hung in there, Amanda, but really you hung in there kind of to the end compared to some of your colleagues.
Yeah, I really my phone's ringing. I really do care or cared about Christine, but she's shown her true colors now, and there's really nothing left for me to say. And what she says doesn't define me in any way, but it says a lot more about who she is, in my opinion. And unfortunately for her, she's pretty much, ruptured every relationship she has at this brokerage. So I didn't do anything to her. I defended her when I finally couldn't anymore, because all she did was speak negatively behind my back. So the most respectful thing I could think to do was not say anything. And she still kept going on and on. I mean, all she does is talk about me. I barely even mention her. So it's like, to me, I'm like, why are you projecting how you feel inside? Are you jealous that I'm not hated? Like, I don't know how else to take it, to be honest. I mean, to disrespect the broker's license, it's like laughable. She asked me about taking the test, and when I explained to her that there's an application, for the application you have to have so many sales and X amount of dollar amounts, volume of sales, she was like, it sounds too difficult. And so then she makes fun of me on the show. I'm just like, this is like ridiculous. But again, it says a lot more about her.
Was this really the last straw, like her saying like, you really have this intense desire to be liked by everyone and this whole narrative?
I love that she's obsessed about that. I don't really care, to be honest. So if she wants to like go off on a tangent about that, that's her choice. I don't care. So she can do whatever she wants. I don't know.
It's like, do you think that, because then there is this narrative, like once you left the brokerage over the $75 million sale with Adnan, like, now you're trying to get back in, and like, is that true? Like, do you see things changing with this group when you left for that moment? I mean, you came back.
So what's the question? If I agree with her that I'm trying to be a kiss ass? Is that what you're asking?
No, just
okay.
In that. No, just in that. No, I'm really not that shady. Just in that, like when you left the brokerage, like, over this $75 million sale with Adnan, and then you left.
That's not why I left. I left because I had a new development opportunity. So it didn't help that I didn't get support, but understandably so, because the property was overpriced, which I explained to Adnan, I think, very clearly. So, everyone's so obsessed. Everyone wants to make fun of me, but everyone's obsessed about it. So it's like, then take it off the website, don't attach your name to it, and don't have any events there, and don't mention it. But you guys are all so interested. So, look, the one was a big house in Beverly Hills. It was what, listed for $500 million and it sold for 126 or something. Clearly houses of the, crazy amounts of dollar amounts, they sell a big percentage discount. So that's kind of what happens in that world. And, it's unfortunately it didn't work out with Adnan, but he's still my client. And I did have successful sales with him, including recently, which I don't think was shown. So that's a little bit annoying because it's almost like, God forbid you should Davina sell a house, right? Like, so that's a little bit annoying, but that's fine. It's whatever. It's an entertaining show. And as far as coming back, I have a great relationship with Jason. I have been in real estate for 16 years. I don't have to worry about whatever Christine thinks I'm doing. Like, I don't care what she thinks I'm like, do whatever. She's asking me about getting her broker's license. So I don't know what her point is.
How does Adnan like being on the show? I mean,
he loves it. He loves it. He loves it. And I think he's fabulous. And I'm so grateful for him. Yeah.
Was the sale with him the thing we saw about the rental, or it was something different?
Yeah, it was actually a lease to buy, and we made a deal with them and that worked out. So
that's great. And yes, the $75 million property is still on the website. So,
Right, but it's not an active listing. It was only a 3-month pocket listing. So that expired years ago. So why is this still on the website? You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
It's because we are obsessed with it. That is.
There are two sides to every story.
Can you say, before we move on from Christine, can you say 3 nice things about Christine at this point?
I don't know why I would. So that's what I have for her. Just no comment.
I love it. Well, this season, we also saw, this relationship, which we all read about, Jason and Chrishell. Were you shocked? Were you as shocked as the rest of us, I should say, when Jason and Chrishell started dating?
I was very disappointed, I will tell you, because, as you see, Maya and I are like, we've known the boys for a long time, and so have all the other ladies, but we just felt like, okay, is Jason really serious? And I do think he truly tried and he was open to it. I don't want to discount that at all. I really do think he gave it his best shot, but it kind of broke my heart a little bit for both of them, because I don't think he would have gone public, or Chrishell would have gone public, if they didn't think it was going to work out. But love is, you can't predict what's going to happen, and unless you're willing to take a risk, a chance, then you'll never know. And so I respect them so much for putting it out there. I mean, it's great for the show, it's great for us, and it's their real life, right? So I very much respect that they had the courage to go public with that and try. And I'm sad it didn't work out for both of them. But again, I of course feel sad for Chrishell, because I've gone through something like that too. So I can relate to her. But also for Jason, it's tough too, because he did try. And then he finally arrived at the final decision that he doesn't want to have a family or kids. So that must be hard too, right? And so what can you say? Just, I'm sorry, guys, and I hope that they can move on. That's all. It's sad.
It has to be hard, when it is your real life, to your point, and the whole world has an opinion.